13 cheerleader scandals we couldn't make up even if we tried. There are many kinds of sex scandals. You've got your political sex scandals, your celebrity sex scandals, and let's not forget your teacher sex scandals. But none are as salacious as cheerleader sex scandals. And anything involving cheerleaders is sexier than anything not involving cheerleaders, right? However, sex scandals aren't all fun and games. Some involve minors being used or taken advantage of. Others involve legal but impressionable young people making poor life decisions. So, some of the scandals you'll read about here are definitely amusing, but others are just, well, kind of sad. I'll let you figure out which is which. If you love this video, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Total Pro Sports and visit TotalProSports.com. Number 13. The McKinney Fab Five. The so-called Fab Five of McKinney High School in McKinney, Texas, are last on the list because the sexual aspects of this scandal are relatively mild. A bunch of popular cheerleaders took sexy photos of themselves, including some at a condom store holding penis-shaped candles, and put them on MySpace. That's right, MySpace. It was 2006, damn it. However, the sexy pics of teenage cheerleaders, while not explicit, drew a lot of attention. And pretty soon it was discovered that this little clique was well known for terrorizing teachers and classmates, skipping classes, and pretty much doing whatever the hell they wanted because they thought they were hot shit. When the media started snooping around, people were falling over each other trying to rat the mean girls out. Then it was discovered that one of them was the daughter of McKinney principal Linda Thurett, which pretty much pissed everybody off. Oh, and if this all sounds familiar to you, it might be because they made a Lifetime movie about it. Number 12. ASU Panty Party. In 2008, Arizona State University threatened to disband the cheerleading program altogether when a series of photos of cheerleaders in their underwear began circulating on the web. As you can see, the photos aren't even that racy, so it might seem like the ASU administration was overreacting. However, they appeared on the heels of another very racy ASU cheerleader scandal that caused a big headache for the higher-ups. Just hold your horses, we'll get to that scandal eventually. So the ASU administration was starting to get worried about the school's reputation. Fortunately for the ASU cheerleading program, it was eventually revealed that the photos were taken 2 years earlier, before the cheerleaders were told to be on their best behavior, so the program did not get the axe. Number 11. Wild in Winnipeg. Winnipeg is not known for being a particularly wild town. However, in the summer of 2008, some of the cheerleaders of the CFL's Winnipeg Blue Bombers proved to the world that Winnipeggers can party with the best of them. How did they do that? By taking a bunch of sexy pics of themselves in uniform, or at team facilities like this one, which somehow leaked onto the internet. Of course, the Blue Bombers pretended to be upset, but let's be real, this was great PR for a sports team almost nobody in North America even knew existed. Number 10. Orange Coast College cheerleaders go wild. You've probably never heard of Orange Coast College. In fact, it sounds totally made up, like a school the kids on the OC would have gone to or something. But apparently it's a real school, and apparently they have cheerleaders. And apparently in 2008, after competing in one of those cheerleading competitions you see on ESPN2, they got wasted in their Vegas hotel room and took a bunch of scandalous pictures of themselves in their underwear. Number 9. WVU cheerleaders party topless. I don't remember John Denver singing about wild cheerleaders taking off their clothes at parties and performing strip shows on Take Me Home Country Roads, but the song was written in 1971. Things change. Sometimes a lot. For example, in 2010, the folks over at Busted Coverage received a tip from a reader that the West Virginia Mountaineers cheerleaders were going absolutely bonkers in Morgantown. So they started collecting evidence and eventually published an entire gallery of the WVU cheerleaders' sexy shenanigans. As you can see, we've obscured the faces of the women in the raciest photos. Sorry, but we think it's best they get the chance to move past their poor decision-making. Number 8. Sacramento G-String Party. To the best of my knowledge, no one has ever called Sacramento the Miami of Northern California because of its wild party scene. But don't tell that to the Sacramento Kings cheerleaders. Back in 2008, a particularly wild bunch of them caused a stir when they took a bunch of photos of themselves partying, including this one of 4 cheerleaders showing off their G-strings. We've obscured the backsides here because it's just a little too not safe for work. If you want the unobstructed view, you can find a link on our website. Number 7. The Naked Hoosier. Apparently, 2008 was a good year for cheerleader sex scandals. First the ASU underwear party, then the Orange Coast College underwear party, then the Sacramento Kings G-string cabaret, and now this. Who is this, you ask? Well, at the time, she was an Indiana cheerleader. However, after these photos hit the web, which she apparently sent to her boyfriend, who then posted them online after they broke up, we're thinking she was probably released from the squad. Once again, as you can see, we've decided to obscure this girl's face so as not to keep dredging up the past. Number 6. Bathroom Tryst. Coming in at number 6, we have one of the most famous cheerleader scandals of all time, and for good reason. In 2005, these two women, who were Carolina Panthers cheerleaders at the time, were arrested at a bar in Tampa for living out what I assume is every heterosexual male's ultimate fantasy. What did they do? They had sex, not for sure what that means here, in a bathroom stall, which pissed off other patrons waiting in line to use the toilet and started a brawl. The funny thing? While the Panthers were in town to play the Bucks, the Top Cats cheerleaders were not. They only perform at home games, so these two lovebirds traveled to Tampa to support the team on their own. Number 5. Bothell High Naked Cheerleader Scandal. Here's a cheerleader sex scandal that's just plain sad. In August 2008, two cheerleaders at Bothell High School in Bothell, Washington, became infamous when they decided to take nude and semi-nude photos of each other so they could sext their boyfriends. However, as almost always happens in situations like these, the boyfriends show or sent the pictures to their friends, and pretty soon everyone on the football team had seen them. The crazy thing? It doesn't seem as though anyone ever got in any serious trouble with the law for this. The boys apparently got off scot-free, while the girls simply received suspensions from the cheerleading squad. Number 4. The high school cheerleading madam. The woman on the right side is Jill Moore. She was the cheerleading coach at Ware Schotz High School in South Carolina until 2007, when she decided to play madam and recruit 16-year-old girls to have sex with her boyfriend's buddies. Nice. The woman on the right? That's Jane Blackwell. She was the principal at Ware Schotz High School when all this went down in 2007. She was arrested for obstruction of justice after telling the cheerleaders not to say anything to the police. Why the cover-up? Authorities believe she knew the coach was giving her cheerleaders booze and didn't do anything. Bad principal. Bad. Number 3. Molly Shattuck beds son's buddy. At number 3, we have the sad, disturbing case of former Ravens cheerleader Molly Shattuck. According to authorities, she took a liking to one of her 15-year-old son's school friends and struck up a relationship with him on Instagram. This then escalated to makeout sessions in the back of her Escalade, and eventually oral sex at the family's Delaware beach house. According to the 15-year-old boy, who apparently wasn't entirely down with all of Mrs. S's advances, she offered to have sex with him, but he declined. Then he went to the authorities. The smoking gun? The kid gave a pretty accurate description of the lingerie Shattuck was wearing that night at the beach house, and police found it when they raided the place. Sad. Number 2. Miss Jones shacks up. At number 2, we have another twisted case of an NFL cheerleader preying on a teenage boy. Of course, we like to joke that nailing an NFL cheerleader is every teenage boy's ultimate fantasy, and in truth it probably is, but that doesn't make it right. In the case of Sarah Jones here, she was a 26-year-old married woman, Cincinnati Bengals cheerleader, and a high school teacher when she got in trouble for sleeping with one of her 17-year-old students in 2012. The silver lining to this story, if you want to call it that, Jones and the student actually got engaged in 2013. So at least, I don't know, something? Should be fun telling the grandkids how they met. And number 1, the hardcore cheerleader. The number 1 biggest cheerleader sex scandal ever? That would have to be the time an Arizona State cheerleader named Courtney Simpson dropped out of school, became a porn star, and filmed an adult movie, Gina Lynn's Double Dutch, while wearing her ASU cheerleading uniform. Arizona State threatened to sue the production company of that particular video for infringement of trademarks and intellectual property rights. So producer Gina Lynn agreed to alter the video so as to obscure the ASU on the front of her shirt. As you can see, we've had to obscure other things. Thanks for watching, guys. This has been 13 cheerleader scandals we couldn't make up even if we tried from Total Pro Sports. Are there any moments we may have missed? Let us know in the comments below, or let us know what you think of the ones we did use, or better yet, like the video and subscribe to our channel at Total Pro Sports by clicking subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.